Your dog has met someone you trusted, someone you liked, someone you thought was good. And your dog, without a single word, without any explanation, decided they were not, growled, backed away, refused to approach, stayed close to you, would not settle. And you said, "They are just being funny today." And you moved on. But what if they were not being funny? What if they were right? What if your dog, in that moment, was doing something that science has now confirmed is one of the most extraordinary abilities in the entire natural world? Reading a person, not their words, not their appearance, not their reputation, their actual character, the invisible signals that a person's true nature sends into the environment without their knowledge and without their control. Your dog caught it and tried to tell you, and you dismissed it. After this video, you will never dismiss it again. Welcome to DogIQ. Subscribe right now if you are new, because every single week we give you science that changes how you see the dog in your life. Today, we go into one of the most profound abilities they have, the ability to know before you do. Before we go into the science, think about a moment, a specific moment, when your dog reacted to a person in a way that surprised you. Maybe it was someone you thought you knew. Maybe it was a stranger. Maybe it was someone everyone else liked, but your dog would not go near. Hold that moment in your mind, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly what your dog was detecting in that moment, and it is going to change how you remember it. Before we talk about bad people, we need to talk about the nose, because without understanding what your dog's nose can actually do, the rest of this video will not land with its full weight. Your dog's nose contains 300 million olfactory receptors. Your nose contains 6 million. The part of your dog's brain dedicated to analyzing smell is 40 times larger than yours, proportionally, and your dog can detect odors at concentrations 100,000 times lower than the human threshold. What does this mean in practice? A human can smell a teaspoon of sugar dissolved in a cup of coffee. A dog can smell a teaspoon of sugar dissolved in 1,000,000 gallons of water. That is not metaphor. That is the documented detection threshold of the canine olfactory system. And your dog is using this system every second of every day to read the world, not just the physical world, the emotional world, the biological world, the invisible world of chemical signals that every human being broadcasts without knowing it, without controlling it, without being able to stop it. Here is where it gets extraordinary. Your body produces chemicals in direct response to your emotional and psychological state. Stress produces cortisol. Fear produces adrenaline. Deception produces a specific physiological response, including elevated heart rate, increased perspiration, subtle changes in breathing pattern, and a measurable shift in the chemical composition of your sweat and breath. These are not large signals. They are invisible to other humans. But to your dog, they are loud, clear, unmistakable. Research has confirmed that dogs can detect human stress through cortisol changes in sweat and breath, with accuracy rates exceeding 90%. 90%. That is better than most professional lie detectors. And your dog is running this assessment on every person they encounter, without training, without effort, as a completely automatic function of simply being present. Now let us talk about what bad actually means, because evil is a dramatic word, and the science is more nuanced than that. What your dog is actually detecting is not moral character in the abstract sense. Your dog is detecting behavioral and physiological patterns that are associated with threat, and threat comes in many forms: aggressive intent, deceptive intent, anxiety designed to conceal something, the specific cortisol and adrenaline profile of a person who means harm, the elevated heart rate, the changed breathing, the specific sweat chemistry of someone who is lying, of someone who is planning something harmful, of someone whose outward presentation does not match their inner state. This mismatch between what a person is showing and what a person is feeling is precisely what your dog detects, because your dog does not read presentations. Your dog reads chemistry, and chemistry, unlike behavior, cannot be faked. Now let us look at the specific research, because the science behind this is more substantial than most people realize. In 2017, researchers at Kyoto University in Japan conducted a study on dogs and unreliable humans. Dogs watched their owners attempt to open a container. The owner then asked for help from two strangers. In one scenario, the stranger helped. In another, the stranger refused and turned away. The dogs then had the opportunity to take food from either stranger. The result was clear. Dogs consistently refused food from the unhelpful stranger and preferred the helpful one, even though both strangers behaved completely neutrally when offering the food. The dogs remembered. The dogs assessed. The dogs made a judgment about character and acted on it. Research on canine stress detection, published in Animal Cognition, found that dogs could distinguish between calm humans and stressed humans through scent alone. No visual cues, no behavioral cues, pure chemistry. The stressed humans were detected by their specific cortisol and adrenaline chemical profile in their sweat and breath, and dogs showed measurably different behavioral responses to the stressed humans, including more vigilance, more body tension, and more protective behaviors toward their owners. Research on dogs and deceptive human gestures found that dogs who were deceived by humans, who pointed toward an empty container, stopped trusting those humans for the remainder of the interaction, while still trusting humans who had never deceived them. Dogs track trustworthiness. They maintain a record, and they update it in real time, based on evidence you cannot even see them gathering. But chemical detection is only part of the story. Your dog is also reading something that humans famously struggle with: microexpressions. Microexpressions are involuntary facial movements that occur in fractions of a second before a person's conscious expression takes over. They last between January 25th and 1/5 of a second. Too fast for most humans to detect. But your dog, whose visual processing is highly specialized for reading faces, reads them. Research has shown that dogs have a specific area of their brain, called the temporal face patch, that activates selectively in response to human faces. Not dog faces, human faces. This brain region was not there in wolves. It developed specifically in dogs, through their coevolution with humans. And it reads your face, the way a book reader reads a page. Quickly, automatically, comprehensively. The microexpression of fear before the smile takes over. The microexpression of contempt beneath the friendly greeting. The microexpression of aggression suppressed by social performance. Your dog catches all of it, processes it, and forms a conclusion before you have finished your handshake. Beyond microexpressions, your dog is also reading body language at a level of sophistication that makes human body language reading look primitive. Dogs can detect the specific muscle tension patterns associated with aggressive intent, the particular gait variations associated with fear or threat, the subtle postural shifts that precede harmful action, the specific eye contact patterns associated with dominance and aggression versus submission and safety, and they process all of these simultaneously, in real time, while also processing the chemical signals, and the microexpressions, and the vocal patterns, and the energy, all at once, all integrated, all producing a single comprehensive assessment, safe or not safe, and their body tells you the answer before you could possibly arrive at it yourself. The research is compelling, but the real-world cases are even more so. A woman noticed her dog, a normally friendly Labrador, would not approach a particular neighbor, would growl softly every time he passed, would position himself between the owner and the neighbor. She dismissed it for months. 2 years later, The neighbor was arrested for serious criminal activity that had been ongoing during the entire period the dog was reacting. A family dog began showing extreme anxiety around a family friend, refused to be in the same room, scratched at doors to leave. The family was confused. The friend was charming and friendly. Eventually, the friend was discovered to have been involved in significant deception that directly harmed the family. The dog knew, months before anyone else did. Multiple documented cases of dogs alerting their owners to individuals who later proved to be dangerous have been reported by law enforcement, animal behaviorists, and ordinary families around the world. The pattern is consistent. The dog reads something invisible. The owner dismisses it. Time proves the dog right. So why do we dismiss our dogs? Why do we say, they are just being weird today, when the evidence for their accuracy is so compelling? 3 reasons. We trust social performance. The bad person is smiling, is charming, is friendly, and we are wired to weight that heavily. Because social performance is how humans communicate. But your dog is not reading the performance. Your dog is reading the person beneath it. And those 2 things are not always the same. We are embarrassed. We do not want to offend someone based on our dog's reaction. We do not want to seem strange or rude. We prioritize social comfort over an instinct we do not fully understand. We underestimate our dogs. We have been taught, in subtle and not so subtle ways, that our dogs are simple, that their reactions are random, that their emotions are basic, that they are just a dog. But the science tells us something completely different. The science tells us that your dog is running the most sophisticated threat assessment system in the room, and it is running constantly, and it is not random, and it is not simple, and it is not wrong as often as you think. So what does this mean practically? Trust the reaction, not blindly, not as absolute proof, but as data. When your dog reacts strongly to a person, take note. Do not dismiss it. Do not override it. Observe, pay attention, and give the reaction the weight it deserves, as information from the most sophisticated biological sensor available to you. Watch what your dog watches. When your dog is alert around a person, follow their gaze. Watch what they are tracking. Their nose, their eyes, their posture. Your dog is reading something specific. Try to see what they are seeing. Even if you cannot match their precision, the awareness itself has value. Do not force connection. If your dog does not want to approach a person, do not force them. Do not pull them toward someone they are avoiding. The forced interaction undermines the communication and removes the distance your dog calculated they needed. Let them set the terms. Let them approach if and when they choose, or not approach. Both are information. Pay attention to pattern. One reaction to one person might be circumstantial, but a consistent pattern of reaction to the same person over multiple encounters. Is your dog telling you something important? Something they cannot say in words, but are saying every single time with their whole body. Think about the people in your life who matter most. Think about the ones who have never caused you harm. The ones who have been exactly who they appeared to be. Now think about how your dog reacted to them. Friendly, warm, trusting, open. And think about the people who eventually disappointed you, who turned out to be different from what they seemed. And think about how your dog reacted to them. Was there something you missed? Was there a moment you dismissed? A reaction you overrode? A signal you called funny behavior? Your dog was not being funny. Your dog was being your guardian, your protector, your early warning system, running an assessment so sophisticated that no technology we have built can fully replicate it. They cannot speak. They cannot write you a warning. They cannot tell you what they know. All they can do is position themselves between you and the thing they detected and hope that you will notice, that you will trust them, that you will understand, that when they say, not this person, they are not being difficult. They are doing The most important thing they know how to do, taking care of you. Think about a moment when your dog reacted to someone, and you dismissed it. Now ask yourself, were they right? Even partially. Even in a way you only understand now. Drop a comment below. Has your dog ever reacted to someone and been proven right later? Tell us your story, because every story in these comments is proof of something science is still learning to measure. And those stories deserve to be heard. Share this video with every dog owner you know, because somewhere right now, someone's dog is trying to tell them something, and they are about to dismiss it. Send this to them before they do. If this video made you think of a moment your dog tried to warn you, give it a thumbs up right now. Subscribe to DogIQ. Every single week, we give you one more reason to trust the extraordinary being living in your home. Hit the bell. All notifications on. See you in the next one. Trust your dog. They are reading something you cannot.